If you're over 65 and feel like your memory isn't the same anymore, that you forget names or walk into a room and don't remember why, I want you to stop for a moment and listen carefully. This is not just about aging, and it's not because your brain has worn out beyond help. There is a way to regain clarity, focus, and even that sense of mental sharpness that seemed lost. And the most surprising part is that this path doesn't require expensive medication, fancy devices, or hours of effort. It starts with a simple 60-second exercise that can awaken areas of the brain that have been dormant for years. I want you to understand something fundamental. Memory loss is not an inevitable sentence of aging. This belief has trapped millions of people in a state of resignation, as if nothing could be done. But modern science and clinical experience prove otherwise. The brain is plastic, meaning it can adapt, reconnect, and regenerate at any age, as long as it receives the right stimulation. I've seen this in hundreds of patients over decades of practice. People who believed they were doomed to forgetfulness now enjoy mental clarity, engage in lively conversations, and recall life details they thought were lost forever. And you know what's even more impressive? Many of these transformations began with a stimulus to the feet. That's right. Simple toe movements activate the cerebellum, the part of the brain responsible for balance, coordination, and functions related to memory and attention. When the feet move consciously, they send powerful signals that reactivate dormant neural connections. It's like turning on lights in hallways that had been dark for years. I remember one patient, Mr. Ramon, 75 years old, who was afraid to walk alone because he felt unsteady. His legs weren't weak, but the communication between brain and body was impaired. After practicing this 1-minute exercise daily, within weeks he was walking confidently again, with a clearer mind and renewed confidence. The exercise is simple. Sitting in a comfortable chair, lift your toes and hold for a few seconds, then press them into the floor, massage them with the tips, and finally open and close the toes. It seems small, but this cycle wakes up the cerebellum, improves brain circulation, and kickstarts a global reactivation of the brain. Studies from the University of Tokyo confirm what I see in my practice. In just 3 weeks, seniors who practiced this movement significantly improved memory, coordination, and mental clarity. But the feet are only the beginning. Another crucial part is the neck. Many people don't realize that the neck is like a vital bridge between the body and the brain. When it becomes stiff, due to tension or poor posture, brain circulation decreases. The result is a heavy-headed feeling, difficulty concentrating, and mental fatigue. Gentle neck movements like rotation, lifting, and bending release this blockage, allowing blood to flow again and bringing oxygen and nutrients back to the brain. Patients who had complained of brain fog returned to me after 2 weeks of these movements, saying they felt lighter, with clearer thoughts and even more fluent speech. It's like unlocking a gate that had been holding back mental vitality. And there's another curious but extremely powerful exercise: tongue movement. The tongue is full of nerve endings that connect directly to brain regions related to language, verbal memory, and mental agility. By consciously moving it, extending, pressing it against the roof of the mouth, moving it side to side, rotating it inside the mouth, we create stimuli that reignite communication flow and the ability to recall words that once seemed to slip away. One of my patients, who always got stuck in the middle of sentences, started doing this exercise daily. 2 weeks later, he emotionally reported that he had been able to talk with his grandson for several minutes, remembering names, stories, and details he hadn't been able to recall for months. And we don't stop there. Our ears, often overlooked, contain key structures for balance and alertness. Stimulating them with gentle massages, pulling them lightly up, sideways, and down, along with circular movements, activates connections with the brainstem. This simple practice improves coordination, reduces dizziness, and can even lower the risk of falls. I've received countless stories from patients who regained the confidence to walk safely, no longer held back by unsteadiness. Mrs. Maria, 79 years old, after 3 weeks of this exercise, walked into my office alone, eyes shining, saying, "Doctor, I can go back to the market without fear." When we combine all these movements into a single 1-minute sequence, feet, neck, tongue, and ears, we create a symphony of brain stimulation. It's as if each exercise were an instrument, and together they awaken the entire orchestra. I've seen patients who could barely form sentences begin to recall phone numbers, childhood memories, and rejoin family conversations. Mrs. Carmen, who came in feeling depressed because she thought she was losing her mind, regained vitality, clarity, and even the joy of laughing with her family without fearing she'd forget what she was saying. And I want you to realize that this isn't magic. We're talking about applied neuroscience. The aging brain doesn't need more information. It needs reactivation. It needs stimuli that awaken the areas that have slowed down from disuse. It's like a plant that wilts without water, but blooms again when watered. The secret is not to accept it, but to act. And acting doesn't mean hours of effort. It means 1 minute a day of conscious dedication. To enhance these results, there are 3 additional secrets I always recommend to my patients. The first is simple: hydration. The brain is made up mostly of water, and a dehydrated mind functions like an engine without oil. Drinking a glass of water before the exercise enhances its effects, improves circulation, and speeds up the results. The second is deep breathing. Inhale through the nose and exhale slowly through the mouth while performing the movements. This oxygenates the brain, reduces anxiety, and boosts mental clarity. The third is pairing the practice with music. Listening to a song you enjoy, one that brings back good memories, activates brain areas linked to pleasure and memory. I have patients who say that when they listen to music from their youth during the practice, their minds seem to wake up even faster. Now, it's also important to know what not to do. 3 common mistakes can interfere with your results. Performing the movements too fast as if it were a rushed chore, pushing the body until it hurts, forgetting that these movements should be gentle, and lack of consistency. The brain needs repetition. 1 minute a day, every day, is far more effective than occasional long sessions. It's like watering a plant. There's no point in flooding it one day and forgetting it for weeks. Consistency is what makes it bloom. I want you to imagine what your life could look like 3 weeks from now if you choose to start today. Imagine waking up with a clear mind, easily remembering names, dates, and stories. Imagine joining conversations without fear of forgetting words, walking confidently, feeling like the owner of your life again. I've seen this happen countless times. I saw Carmen regain the joy of playing with her grandchildren. I saw Miguel go back to telling stories with detail. I saw Roberto travel with his wife to celebrate their anniversary, with a sharp mind to enjoy every moment. And the difference between them and those who stay trapped in mental fog is just one thing. They chose to act. They chose not to accept memory loss as an inevitable fate. The brain hasn't given up. It's just waiting for you to stimulate it. 1 minute a day can be the bridge between confusion and clarity, between forgetfulness and remembrance, between resignation and vitality. One of the most fascinating things about the human brain is its ability to adapt. Science calls this neuroplasticity. Even after age 60, 70, or 80, it's still possible to create new neural connections, strengthen existing pathways, and reactivate areas that seemed dormant. It's as if the brain were a lit-up city, and over time, some of the streetlights went out. These exercises are the switch that turns the lights back on, allowing information to flow more clearly. And I want to emphasize something. There is no age limit to start. I have 90-year-old patients who improved with these exercises. The brain never stops learning. It just needs the right stimuli. Think of it like a muscle. If it stays inactive, it weakens. But if it's trained, it regains strength. That's why I insist. Don't resign yourself. Don't accept the idea that being forgetful is a natural fate. The brain is extraordinary, it's resilient, and it's just waiting for you to stimulate it. 1 minute may seem like little, but when repeated daily, it turns into weeks, months, and years of regained vitality. I want you to picture your brain as a great orchestra. Each area has its instrument. The hippocampus plays the melody of memory, the cerebellum sets the rhythm of balance, The prefrontal cortex conducts concentration and mental clarity, while the brainstem provides the foundation, like a solid double bass that keeps the harmony. What happens with age is that some of these instruments start playing more softly, others go out of tune, and the music of the mind no longer sounds clear. What these exercises do is wake up each musician again, tune the instruments, and bring back the brain symphony. You see, when you move your toes, you're not just moving muscles. You're sending signals to the cerebellum, the region responsible for coordination and also for integrating sensory information. The cerebellum, in turn, has direct connections to the hippocampus, where our memories are stored. That's why patients who practice this exercise report not only better walking, but also more vivid memories. Mr. Ramon, whom I mentioned earlier, once told me, "Doctor, it feels like when I move my feet, I also move my memories." And that's exactly it. By stimulating the body, we reactivate stored memories. Neck movements are like opening the floodgates of a river. Blood flow to the brain increases, bringing oxygen and nutrients. When oxygen arrives in abundance, the brain responds with clarity. Patients describe it as if mental fog lifts away. Mrs. Isabel, who suffered from a heavy-headed feeling, called me after 2 weeks of exercises and said, "It's like my brain is breathing again." That image is perfect. The brain breathes when circulation is restored and the mind becomes clearer. The tongue exercise may seem odd, but it activates deep brain areas related to language. Many seniors complain that they know what they want to say, but can't find the right word. This is called a lexical retrieval failure and is linked to the weakening of specific brain areas. Moving the tongue, pressing it against the roof of the mouth, moving it side to side or rotating it inside the mouth, stimulates these areas as if they were muscles being trained. Don Carlos, who could barely speak fluently, began doing these movements and within weeks was expressing himself in full sentences. He told me, "I feel like the words have come back to me." The ears, in turn, are gateways to balance and alertness. Inside them is the vestibular system, which sends information to the brainstem and cortex. By massaging, gently pulling, and stimulating the ears, we awaken these connections. The result is greater walking stability, less dizziness, and a more alert mind. Mrs. Maria, who could barely walk without support before, started going to the market alone again after 3 weeks. And she told me with a smile, "Doctor, it feels like magic, but I know it's science." Now I want to give you 3 strategies that accelerate results. The first is hydration. The brain is made up of about 80% water, and even mild dehydration already affects memory, attention, and energy. Drinking a glass of water before doing the exercises ensures better blood flow and more efficient synapses. It's like watering a plant before putting it in the sun. Growth happens faster. The second strategy is deep breathing. While performing the movements, inhale through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. This type of breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, reducing anxiety and increasing brain oxygenation. Many patients report that when they breathe deeply during the exercises, their minds clear up even faster. The third is to combine the exercises with music. Sounds have a direct impact on the brain, activating areas linked to pleasure and memory. One patient, Mrs. Esperanza, always did the exercises while listening to songs that marked her youth. She reported that in addition to mental clarity, there was a feeling of joy and motivation. Music creates a positive atmosphere that enhances the effects of the practice. But it's also important to be aware of the most common mistakes that interfere with results. The first is rushing. Some people do the exercises too quickly, as if they're just checking off a task. This reduces the effect because the brain needs conscious and calm movements to process the stimuli. The second mistake is forcing until it hurts. These exercises should be gentle. If there is pain, it's a sign you're overdoing it. Gentleness is key. The third is lack of consistency. Many people do the exercises one day, feel better, but forget to keep going. The brain needs daily repetition. It's like watering a plant, little by little, every day. And to inspire you even more, I want to share a few more stories. Mr. Raphael, 78 years old, said he had given up on trying to remember. After 3 months of daily practice, he told me, "Doctor, it's like my brain woke up from a deep sleep." His wife added, He started laughing again, talking again, being himself again. Mrs. Teresa, 82 years old, who always mixed up dates, after 1 month of practice, remembered each grandchild's birthday in detail and even planned a surprise party for the family. The sparkle in her eyes said more than any test could. These stories show that we're not just talking about physical exercises. We're talking about reclaiming identity, dignity, and the joy of living. When memory returns, so does the feeling of being who we've always been. And that is priceless. We've come to the point of organizing everything we've learned. You already understand that memory is not lost just because of age, but due to a lack of proper stimulation. Now I want to clearly explain how to put this into practice. First, let's review the 5 exercises that form the 1-minute routine. The foot exercise. Lift your toes, then press them into the floor, massage them with the tips, and open and close them. This activates the cerebellum and hippocampus, strengthening memory and balance. The neck exercise. Gently rotate to the right and left. Look up and then down, always without forcing. It releases circulation and oxygenates the brain. The tongue exercise. Stretch it out, move it side to side, press it against the roof of the mouth, and rotate it inside the mouth. This activates areas of language and verbal memory. The ear exercise. Gently pull upward, sideways, and downward, then massage in circles. This stimulates the vestibular system and clears the mind. Finally, the combined exercise that integrates all of them in sequence. Feet moving while rotating the neck, tongue in action along with ear stimulation, creating a symphony of brain activation. Now, how do you organize this into a routine? It's simpler than it seems. Choose a time of day when you can sit calmly for 1 minute. It could be when you wake up, before breakfast. It could be in the afternoon during a break. It could be at night, as a bedtime ritual. The essential part is doing it every day. Follow this order. Feet, 30 seconds. Neck, 15 seconds. Tongue, 15 seconds. Ears, 30 seconds. If you want to simplify it further, do the integrated 1-minute sequence. The important thing is not the exact form, but the consistency. And what can you expect over the weeks? I want to detail this, because many patients tell me the signs are subtle at first, but then they become obvious. In the first week, the signs are physical. Warmer feet, less neck stiffness, a feeling of lightness. Some even report deeper sleep. In the second week, the first cognitive signs appear. Recalling words faster, fewer lapses during conversations, mental clarity upon waking. In the third week, the improvement is noticeable to family. You follow conversations without getting lost, remember dates and tasks, walk with more confidence. Many tell me, it feels like the fog lifted from my mind. From the first month onward, the results build up. More steadiness, more confidence, more active memory. Some even report improved mood, because when the mind clears, life becomes lighter. But pay attention. To reap these benefits, you must avoid the mistakes we already discussed. Don't rush, don't push until it hurts, and don't quit after a few days. Remember, it's like watering a plant. Little by little, every day. That repetition is what transforms the brain. I want you to imagine your near future. You wake up with energy, remember what you have to do, participate in conversations with confidence, laugh at family stories without fear of forgetting halfway through. Imagine walking without fear of falling, feeling in control of your body and mind. This is not fantasy. It's the natural result of stimulating your brain correctly. I've seen this in real patients. Doña Carmen, who laughed with her family again. Don Miguel, who stopped writing down his forgetfulness because he didn't need to anymore. Don Roberto, who traveled with his wife and said, "It's like living again." These transformations didn't come from expensive medication or luck. They came from the decision to act. And that's what I want from you now, a decision. Decide that your memory still has much to offer. Decide that you won't resign yourself. Decide that 1 minute a day is enough to start reclaiming years of your life. So here's the final invitation. Today, not tomorrow. Sit in a comfortable chair, take a deep breath, drink a glass of water, and do the exercises. Just 1 minute. Then come back here and tell me in the comments how you felt. Share your experience, because your story may inspire someone who's still unsure. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell to get more tips, and share this content with someone who needs it. Just like Carmen, Miguel, and so many others, this person can regain clarity, vitality, and independence. Remember, your brain is not lost. It's just waiting to be awakened. 1 minute a day can be the beginning of a new life.